common. We call these idiomatic expressions. So they're like sayings. And this is what we have in English. So you could see, I'm going to share with you some famous sayings and their meanings, the meaning of these sayings. So we know in every language, you have your own expressions. And they're wise sayings. So wise sayings means like it's like a saying that has a message to it. It's a meaning to it. Okay, so maybe they give us advice about how to live, or they have some ideas of principles. Principle means like values, what's really good in our culture or society. So we call these idioms, or you could just say sayings. And really they have this figurative meaning. It means it's not real because it will have a message in it. So it will be using an idea to give you a message. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some of the most everyday, conversational, common, idiomatic expressions that we use, which I think can help you with your English, because if you can also, you hear a native speaker say it. So if you're learning English, you also want to be able to understand what is this expression that this native speaker is saying. So let's look at them and look at their meaning. So you'll see what I mean. I'll just pick the ones that are very common. You would have heard this one. Actions speak louder than words. Have you heard this saying? Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very common. It just means if someone says to you, you said to someone, oh, look, they told me this, this, this. They promised me they're going to do this. But you could say, well, actions speak louder than words. That means that when someone does something, that's going to be more that you could trust that they're going to do it than them just saying they're going to do it. So an action is more powerful than just saying and promising, I'll do something. Oh, I promise, I promise. But when you see someone do it, an action, that is bigger, that is more powerful. So that's what it means. Actions speak louder than words. Words just saying, oh, I promise you, I'll help you. But if I keep telling you, I promise, I'll help you, I promise, but then I'm not doing it, that's the action. So if I do it and I help you, that's my action. And that is more, like I said, more powerful than just me saying, I promise I'm going to help you. So you can see people's intentions can be judged better by what they do than what they say. This is another good one. Add insult to injury. So if someone is saying something bad to you, and then they continue to say something else that's bad to you, you could say, wow, why don't you just add insult to injury? It just means like you keep putting more mockery. You're continuing to say bad things to me to worsen the situation already. Okay, so if someone is saying bad things to you and they continue to do it, then you can say, wow, why don't you just add insult to injury? So it's you're being sarcastic at the same time. So insult, like something bad, to an injury. Okay, if you've been hurt. So you see how it's just a saying, but it's trying to say like, wow, you keep saying bad things to me, or you keep doing bad things to me. There too. Another one, back to the drawing board. I like this one. You'll hear this one pretty common. So if someone maybe is telling you about something in their life and they have to start all over again, maybe they lost money, or maybe they have to start a relationship again, or they have to just do something again from the beginning, they'll say, well, back to the drawing board. Now, what does the drawing board mean? Like when you write something on a board. So it just means when an attempt fails and it's time to start all over. So maybe you've done a new situation, you've done a new experience, and it didn't go well, and you need to start from the beginning. So we say back to the drawing board. So if you want to give a friend advice, you would say, don't worry, maybe they failed in something, you would say, don't worry, just go back to the drawing board. I like this one, the ball's in your court. So if I want to tell someone it's their decision, okay, it's up to them. They can choose and make a decision and take the next step. And I can say the ball's in your court. So it just means it's up to you to make the next decision or step. Okay, because some people say, well, my father wants me to do this, and my mother wants me to do this, and my husband says this. Then you can say, but the ball's in your court. That means it is your decision. Okay, don't let anyone else make the decision for you. That's a very common one. This is kind of common, barking up the wrong tree. So if you're barking up the wrong tree, so we know what a tree means, like a tree that comes out of the ground, and barking like a dog that would, make a barking sound. So it means that you're looking in the wrong places, or you're accusing the wrong person. So for instance, maybe, I think that someone stole something of mine. And I'm telling my friend and I'm saying, I think it's him. I think it's him. And maybe he doesn't think that. So he could say, look, I think you're barking up the wrong tree. It means you're accusing the wrong person. Be glad to see the back of. This is, if, for example, this is like in a situation where maybe you had a failed marriage, you no longer love the person that you're with, and because they did something bad, then you could say, you know what? I'm glad to see the back of, and then you can say that person's name. So that means that you're happy that they are going to leave. Okay. So like I said, it's a situation that's not good. You don't like the person anymore. You don't want to see them. So you could say, I'm glad to see the back of them. So if you imagine, what does that mean? The back. So imagine them walking away, you see their back, but you're saying, I'm happy to see their back because you just don't want to see them again. So be glad to see the back of. Beat around the bush. This is a very common Australian saying. To beat around the bush means to be avoiding the main topic, not speaking directly about the issue. So for example, if somebody tells you they have a problem and they're not confronting the problem, maybe they're not really talking about the problem, you'll be saying, come on, man, stop beating around the bush. Stop avoiding the problem. That's what it means. Stop, making excuses. Just get straight to the point. Stop making excuses. Get to the point. So don't beat around the bush. We know what a bush is, The best of both worlds. I love this expression. Have you heard this one, Curly? This one's very common as well. The best of both worlds. Yeah. Yes, one of my favorite. It means like if someone's telling you, I don't know, something is happening in their life, and you could say, my God, you've got like two opportunities, like take advantage of it. That's the best of both worlds. So when they have two things maybe happening maybe the things are going good, they're working and they're studying, but maybe they're complaining. You'll say, come on, you've got the best of both worlds. Okay, so it means take all the advantage. Let's have a look. Another one is, I like this one. It cost me an arm and a leg. Very, very common Australian saying. I use this one a lot. So cost means like, to buy what you purchased, an arm and a leg. So when I buy something and it's very expensive, so maybe Lucy will say to me, where did you get that dress? It's very nice. I'll say, well, it cost me an arm and a leg. It means it was very expensive. Or you could say to me, wow, your car is so beautiful. Maybe if you looked at my car, and I'll say, yeah, it cost me an arm and a leg. It means I spent a lot of money on it. Like it's very expensive, very common. I like this one. It cost me an arm and a leg. Cross that bridge when you come to it. I like this one. So this one means like when people they're thinking about a problem that hasn't happened yet. Okay, they're worried about in the future about the problem. You could say, don't worry, cross that bridge when you come to it. It means like, don't worry, when that problem comes, then you'll deal with it. But don't worry now. Don't think about it now and stress about it now. Okay, so deal with a problem if and when it becomes necessary, not before. So like, don't stress too much now about the problem. So cross that bridge. We know what a bridge is, right? When you come to it. This one's very common. Cry over spilt milk. So maybe I like to use this one when you have a little child or an adult and maybe they're complaining about something and you'll be like, come on, don't cry over spilt milk. It just means, stop complaining about your past. Like, um, don't be like a baby crying over spilt milk. So, because you can imagine milk and it's been spilt, it's gone. So usually a child will cry. So you're trying to tell someone, like, don't be a baby. Come on, stop complaining about something from their past. So when someone complains about something in their past, you can tell them, stop crying over spilt milk. Okay, so a lot of these, we use them as advice. A lot of sayings. I do a lot. I speak a lot of these this way as well. What's another good one here? Curiosity killed the cat. Sometimes if you're too inquisitive, it can lead into an unpleasant situation. If you're too much like curious, it can sometimes just destroy the situation. Cut corners. I like this one. I use this one. When something is done badly to save money. So I use this one to say, like, if someone is telling me that they want to do something, maybe a business, and they want to kind of like do things not good because they want to save money, I'll say, come on, don't cut corners because then it's not going to be good. So don't cut corners. Don't do something bad. Don't cut corners. I like this one. Don't give up on your day job. So this is when someone is, you're not very good at something and you could definitely not do it professionally. So for example, maybe somebody wants to sing and, their voice is not very good and they want to focus so much on singing, but their voice is not good. So you would tell them, don't give up your day job. Okay, it means, don't do something you're not good at. Something that you can't be a professional at. Don't do it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, it means do not put all your resources in one possibility. So don't put all your focus on one thing. So eggs, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your mind, all your thoughts, all your energy on one thing. So maybe someone is just very stressed and always thinking about something. You would say, look, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Or they're just so focused on one thing that they're forgetting to think about other important things in their life. Elvis has left the building. Not really. We don't use this one, but I hear it. It just means the show has come to an end. It's all over. So how would I use it in real life? Real English, natural English expression, conversations. Maybe if like there's a fight going on and, I'm watching it with my friend and then they take away the bad person, then I'd say, oh, look, Elvis has left the building, because it's like a show. I'm watching people fighting and it's come to an end. It's all over. Maybe that's how I would use it. Or, yeah. Feel a bit under the weather. I like this one. This is very, very common. It means I'm not feeling too good. I'm slightly ill. I'm not feeling well. So if someone says to you, how are you feeling today? You could say, well, I feel a bit under the weather. Have you heard this one? Yeah, I know, because I know the common ones that you might have heard. So it means I don't feel too good. I'm not feeling well. I like this one. Give the benefit of the doubt. So you believe someone's statement without proof. So, for example, maybe you have a friend and you think that they're lying about something. And I will say to you, look, just try to believe them, until you can prove that they are a liar, try to believe them. So give them the benefit of the doubt. That's how I would say it. It means trust someone, believe them until you have proof that they are lying or they're not doing something good. So you give them the benefit of the doubt. It means you just believe them. That's all. If you heard something on the grapevine, so we know what grapevine means. In the winery, you'll see where they grow the grapes to make wine. So you hear it on the grapevine. It means to hear a rumor about something or someone. So you could be telling me, oh, guess what? I heard like this and this about my friend. We're talking about another person. I said, oh, where did you hear that? Who told you? You could say, well, I heard it on the grapevine. It just means, oh, it's just a rumor. People are just saying it. Hit the nail on the head. I like this one. To do or say something exactly right. So, for example, maybe you like Curly's telling me about something, a situation that you did, and you handled it very good. And I would say, wow, you really hit the nail on the head. It just means, wow, like you did or you said something exactly right. Like you did it really well. I like this one, hit the sack or the hay. So you could say it means to go to bed. So you could say, oh, I am so tired. I'm going to hit the sack. Or I'm going to hit the hay. Sheets, not really. That's not very common. It's more common to say, I'm going to hit the sacks. So you could say, okay, guys, I'm going home. I'm going to hit the sack. It means I'm going to go to bed. Very common. I use this one myself. Like, especially when you're very tired. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm going to hit the sack. In the heat of the moment. That means when I'm overwhelmed by what is happening in the moment. So there's a situation and I'm really like overwhelmed, like, wow, something is happening. And it's like in the heat of the moment. So maybe I yelled at someone or I hit someone. You could just say, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just overwhelmed and I just did it so quickly. I didn't know what happened in the heat of the moment. Okay, you're overwhelmed. Like it's happening so fast, so quick, and you're not prepared. It just happens so fast. It takes two to tango. This one is very, very common when people, do you know it? When people are cheating and maybe your friend is telling you, oh, look, my husband is cheating and he's doing bad and it's not the other woman's fault. It's, or maybe something like that. You would say, sorry, it's the other woman. She's hitting on my husband. She's trying to make my husband come to her. You could say, well, it takes two to tango. That means it takes two people to be involved in cheating. So you can't just blame one person. You have to blame both. Okay, because actions or communications need more than one person. But like I said, this is very common when people are cheating. And maybe you don't want to blame your husband. You want to always say, it's the other woman. She's always messaging my husband. Well, no, it takes two to tango. So your husband too is also to blame if he's giving his time to another woman. Okay, so especially when someone is cheating, like I said, that's when we use this one. It takes two to tango. Tango is an Argentinian dance. Okay, so you see how these expressions, I'll just do a few more. Jump on the bandwagon. Okay, I love this one. Join a popular trend or activity. For example, TikTok. Okay, you might say, oh, I don't have it. And I'll say, come on, jump on the bandwagon. That means like, come on, it's so popular. Everybody's using it. Like, join us, use it, download the app. So if you want to tell someone, come on, like, join this popular trend, like TikTok or doing something that's very common and popular. Jump on the bandwagon. Keep something at bay, okay, to keep something in a distance, far away. So maybe you have a friend and she's not very good. They're a friend that's not doing you any good, not benefiting you. Then you can advise the other person. You can say, look, why don't you just keep her at bay? So it just means like, keep them far away. Don't get too close. Don't spend too much time. Keep something away. So you want to keep something away that's not good for you. Maybe it's a person, maybe because, they're involved in something bad or they're always trying to get you to do something bad. You could advise someone to keep them at bay. I love this one. I think I used this one like yesterday. To kill two birds with one stone. Like I said, I just used this one yesterday. It means to accomplish two things at the same time. So, for example, maybe you want to go fishing, okay? It's something that you enjoy doing, but at the same time, your friend is always saying, hey, I never see you, I never see you. Well, you can do two things at one time. You can do what you want to do, go fishing, and maybe invite your friend so that way you are doing two things in one time. You are doing, because you have a plan, you're doing fishing, but at the same time, your friend wants to see you. So, you do two things at one time. Or, for example, it has to be two good things. Okay, so you can imagine two different good things at the same time. You kill two birds with one stone. The last straw is like the final problem in a series of problems. So if you're talking about, oh my God, I have this many problems going on, and you can say, and the last straw is this. Let the cat out of the bag. To share information that was previously concealed. So maybe to let out a secret. Maybe, I told you a secret. So that means that I let the cat out of the bag. Okay, so you could say, why did you let the cat out of the bag? Why did you tell everyone the secret? You let the cat out of the bag. Make a long story short. So when someone is telling you what happened in their day, you would say, come on, man. Make the long story short. It means just get to the point, leave out the details. You're taking too long to tell me the story. So, or you could say it yourself. Oh, I'll tell you what happened in my day, but to make a long story short, and then you'll just say the main thing of your day. Miss the boat. I love this one. I use this one all the time. Miss the boat is used to say that someone missed his or her chance, if they missed their opportunity. So maybe you had an opportunity to travel somewhere or to apply for a course and you didn't. And I would say, well, you missed the boat. You missed the opportunity. You missed the chance. Once in a blue moon. I use this one all the time. It happens very rarely. Have you heard this one, Curly? Once in a blue moon? Yeah. So if something happened and I did something, but I would say to you, look, but it doesn't happen all the time. This is just once in a blue moon. So it means I did something, but it's not something that I do all the time. It happens once in a while. It's like saying once in a while. Okay. So like, I don't know, it has to be something that I did. And then I'll say it's not like regularly that I do it. It's not, continuous that I do this. It's just, it just happens once in a while, once in a blue moon. Hey, not like every day. So you can be ready every day. Yeah. Picture paints 1,000 words. A picture paints 1,000 words. If you look at a visual representation, it is far more descriptive than words. Very simple. A photo, an image will give you more information than just if you're reading about it. A piece of cake, okay, it means that it was easy. So if I did something or someone did something, I'll say, wow, that was a piece of cake. That means it was really easy. The job was, how was work? Good. It was a piece of cake. Like it was really easy. See eye to eye. I like this one. To say that two or more people agree on something. So you can say, yes, me and my father, we see eye to eye. Or me and my husband, we see eye to eye on this issue, whatever the topic is. It means that we both agree on it. We're not fighting. We both have the same ideas about it. We see eye to eye. We have the same ideas, we're on the same page. Actually, that's another one. We're on the same page. Very similar to see eye to eye. To sit on the fence. This is used when someone does not want to choose or make a decision. So, for example, maybe they're not sure which course they want to sign up for. They're not sure which house they want to buy, or they're not sure what they want to do. You would say they are sitting on the fence. Okay, so they're struggling like to make a decision, or just they don't want to choose. Speak of the devil. Okay, this expression is used when the person you have just been talking about arrives. So maybe me and my friend are speaking and we're talking about someone that is not here. And then that person comes in the room, then we'll say, oh, look, speaking of the devil. And we actually say it so that person can hear us. You say, speaking of the devil. And then the person would say, are you guys talking about me? You would say, yeah, but nothing bad. So that's very common. Speaking of the devil. To take with a grain of salt. Very, very common. This means not to take what someone says too seriously. So someone told you something and you're a little bit upset by it, then I would say, look, just take it with a grain of salt. It means don't take it too seriously. Don't worry. Just don't care. Just don't worry. Okay, take with a grain of salt. A taste of your own medicine. When something happens to you or is done to you that you have done to someone else. So this is especially common when someone has done something bad to you, and then you go and do it maybe to them or to someone else. So it's like you're getting a taste of your own medicine. You're experiencing exactly the bad thing that someone did to you that now you are doing to someone else. So it's not a good thing. You don't want to get a taste of your own medicine, because that means that you're doing the bad thing that happened to you. I wouldn't be caught dead. You would never like to do something. So maybe you don't want to do something, an experience. You'd be like, I would never be caught dead doing that. Your guess is as good as mine. It means to have no idea. You don't know the answer to a question. So if somebody is talking about something and they're like, but do you know why or this? You're like, you know what? Your guess is as good as mine. It just means I have no idea. I don't know. And that's all that we had. So these were some idioms. As I said, that means expressions. And you can see how we use them. Yes, we do use these in everyday conversations. And I went through the ones that are very common. There's still so many more, but these were some of the most common ones. And it's fun. I really like them. I like to use these idioms. And it shows a high level of English. So first you want to perfect your grammar. And then when you have a good grammar, then you'll start to see that you could use these expressions just like a native English speaker would. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. We looked at quite a lot of all these idioms, okay, and their meanings. And yes, okay, so I enjoyed sharing that with you. And that's all that we had when we speak about idioms, which, like I said, is like expressions to say or show another meaning to just being direct with words.